Well, we welcome you back to Parade of Quartets. We're excited to have, by way of Zoom, we have Senator Harold Jones and Representative Henry Wayne Howard. And of course, they're in Atlanta now doing the people's business. How you guys doing?
Very good, thank you.
Good.
Thank you, very good.
Good. Well, listen, glad you stopped to talk to us for just a few minutes. I wanted to there's been a lot of rumbling around the Augusta area about this redistricting that's taking place all across the country. But specifically here in Augusta, the process, as I understand it, was that there was an ad hoc committee where you had members from the commission, the delegation, and the Board of Education represented, and they spent months and months with public hearings and listening to the people and all of that. And they presented a map to those bodies, to the Augusta commissioners and the Richmond County Board of Education. And both bodies accepted the map that was presented by the ad hoc committee. Is that process pretty much clear?
It is. And first, thank you for having, I'm happy to be back home by way of Zoom. But yeah, it was. And what we did, it was our responsibility here in Atlanta to pass a map based on what we received.
Okay, so they sent that map that came out of Augusta was given to the delegation.
It was.
What did they do with that? Okay.
We took it over in the House.
Okay.
The House, on the House side where I sit, we took it over on the House side, and it was my responsibility to get signatures from House members. And I received three signatures, including 4 with my own signature. And so therefore that made it what we call a local bill. And the local bill went, excuse me, it went to the government affairs where normally it would go to intra-government, and it got stalled over there. And from there, I think Senator Jones could tell you what happened from the Senate side.
Senator Jones, what happened on that side?
Yeah, so what happened on that side was Senator Burns he developed his own bill, SB 457 and SB 458. And that reflected another draft map that was there. And that's the one that reflects a violation of the Voting Rights Act and takes the people out of 309 out of District 3. But even before he created that, we actually had one last meeting with himself, Senator Anderson, and also Mark Newton, myself, Representative Howard, and another legislator. We met with them to basically say, look, you guys really don't need to do this. It's going to split the community, and we're not going to budge off the Voting Rights Act. And I remember clearly, Representative Mark Newton then said, so you're not going to budge off 2 percentage points. He was thinking that the difference between District 3, if they moved 309 out was 2 percentage points, actually 4. But I said to him at that moment, I said, well, you guys won't budge off 2 precincts, so don't belittle our 2 percentage points. And at that point in time, first legislator got up and walked out, Democrat, and then myself and Representative Howard also got up and left too. And so it was plain at that point in time that we were totally opposed to any type of redrawing of any type of maps or anything of that nature. And what's interesting is we actually left Mark Newton, Burns, and Anderson in a room with a map drafter. That's the only people I ever know have been in a room with a map drafter. No other legislator ever had, but they were. And out of that was SB 457 and 458. And then that went through the Senate.
And it got on the Senate floor, and that gave you guys a chance to debate it. And from what I saw, the part that I saw, you put up a pretty vigorous debate.
And Senator, further yield?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
The Senator's not trying to imply that there's any type of agreement to move forward on this map, are you?
There was no agreement on the map by the delegation, by the study committee, by the commission, or the school board.
Further yield for one last question. When you say we offered repeatedly, who manifests that?
Manifest that? Senator from the 24th, myself, and the House member from, can't name names, the House member that represents Columbia and Richmond County.
That's correct. So what happens is, because Lee Anderson also represents one precinct in Augusta, he and Senator Burns, they're considered the majority of the senators for Augusta. So they were able to sign that bill and create it as local legislation. It's only those 2 persons that signed it. I then had to pull it off the local, we call it the local consent calendar. I had to do that, otherwise it would just sail through. I pulled it off the local consent calendar. That gave us the opportunity to debate it. And as you said, you've seen the debate. It was a very vigorous debate, but it went straight down party lines. And I think persons ought to understand that the Republican Party in Georgia has messed with every African-American county lines where they have a delegation member. Fulton County, Chatham County, Macon, Augusta, Gwinnett, Cobb. All of those persons were also, their county lines were tinkered with or completely changed. The only major African-American county whose county lines were not changed was DeKalb. They don't have any Republicans in their delegation. If they did, their lines would have been changed too.
Well, it passed and the governor signed it. Wayne, what's next? What's next in the process?
Next in the process would be for the community to come together and decide, excuse me, and decide if they want to file a lawsuit on behalf of the constituents in precinct 309. And 309 was drawn into, taken out of District 3 and put into District 5. And District 5 is already an African-American majority district, where they, I think, is 68, 69% African-American. And you're packing another precinct that's majority African-American, and you're putting them in District 5 now.
Well, that sounds like classic voter rights violation to me.
Right.
I'm not an attorney, but there again, so the citizens are going to file a lawsuit. I understand there's some people already in place ready to do that.
Right.
And so that's the very next step.
That's the next step. Yes.
Well, listen, I wanted you guys to come on and just give us put a face on what's going on and let the folk in our area know what's going on specifically as it relates to this. So we'll just wait to hear from a lawyer somewhere down the line. I guess that'll be the next step.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We appreciate it.